Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a live Q&A with me. I'm Pam Roussel with Perfectly Holistic, and I'm excited to be back with you guys tonight. Sorry we had to postpone last week's show. We were having water issues over here in our house, or actually lack of water. So we were having to deal with that, but it's all fixed and everything is good. So I want to welcome everyone over here on Instagram who is joining us. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to talk about cats tonight, and my goal is to kind of keep this to about a 30-minute show. So, oh my God, no. I don't know how this thing is over here doing this. Oh no, there's a filter and I do not know how to fix that. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Something crazy on Instagram going on. Okay. So, how has your week been, everyone? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hey there, Jessica. It's good to see you. Let me know where you're watching from. I always like to say hi to people, and if you have questions that you're dealing with your cats, this is the time to just shoot out some questions. We're going to go over those tonight. Hey Bonnie, how are you? Lots of friends over here on Instagram. Thank you guys for coming in. My cats might actually make an appearance. We'll see. They're all in here, or at least they were a second ago. So, okay, a couple things just to kind of leave you some things to think about that kind of came across my radar this last few days or so. One of those things I want you to be thinking about is how transparent is the pet food company whose pet products you buy for your cats. So think about the cat food that you feed, and if you were to contact them and ask them for a full nutritional analysis, if they don't have one on their website, would they give you one, or would they provide one? One of my heroes, Dr. Karen Becker, did a little rant yesterday that I actually shared on my stories, that there are some even raw pet food brands that don't feel like they have to share their full nutritional analysis. And that's a problem because we don't know what really is in that pet food, in that cat food. And if your cat has an underlying health condition or develops some kind of disease, there might be a link to some nutritional deficiencies contributing to that. And so it's important that we know what's in our cat's food. So just be mindful. Even really good brands, if you're not sure, then it's time to reach out. It's smart to know and be transparent with pet parents who want to do better for their cats and dogs. So Bonnie over here says Jasper has a biopsy on Tuesday to see what kind of IBD he has. I guess there is more than one subset. I don't know, but maybe it's more about the level of degree, like gut permeability, gut absorption, and things like that. So it might be related to that. So I wanted to say hi to Carolina. Hello. And she's there with Oreo Marie in Houston. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. And Jessica says her cat is allergic to something. Well, there's, as I was mentioning in our text earlier, cats just don't develop allergies. They happen because of something going wrong. Okay, they're not born with allergies necessarily. So when you think about all the things that contribute to a weakened immune system, it can be toxins in the air, it can be over-vaccination, it can be flea and tick medications, it can be toxic chemicals in our home, it can be toxins in their food. So this is why we really have to look at the whole picture. We have to look at what they're eating, where they're going, what they're doing, what kind of care they're getting. And sometimes, wellness checkups are all great and everything, but when they want to start pushing over vaccination all the time, that's when we have to stop and go, whoa. No, we're not going to keep doing this because it's not benefiting my cat. So we have to look at all the potential reasons why the immune system is being stressed. And when there's leaky gut issues, it can lead to allergies. It can be chronic respiratory problems. And so there's a lot to unpack with that. So it's not really an easy, oh, take this, because that's not how I roll. I'm all about what is contributing to the cause, like what is the root cause of an issue. And instead of trying to just play the whack-a-mole game and find a symptom, and find a product to treat a symptom, that doesn't really bring you long-term results. That is symptomatic care, and that is how vets are trained. They find a symptom and they find a drug to address the symptom. They don't ever peel back the layers and look at a root cause and try to figure that out. So, something to be mindful for whenever you're dealing with an issue with your cat. The most important question you can be asking your vet is, why is this happening to begin with? And if they cannot give you a good answer, then that is going to propel you to get out of your box, okay, and go talk to integrative specialist, go talk to holistic vet, go talk to an energy healer, go talk to someone who is outside of the traditional conventional medical model, who has more tools in their toolkit. This is why if you have access to an integrative, proactive wellness veterinarian, they're going to have a lot more tools in their toolkit than a conventional veterinarian. So, and a lot of times they're thinking outside of the box. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, they do try to find a root cause. So that is key. So remember, search for the root cause. If you can find the root cause, and there's so many great diagnostic tools that are new on the market in the pet industry. Skylar, stop chewing that. Sorry, she's chewing something. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. Come say hi. There she is. She's saying hi. Are you being a bad girl? Don't chew that. Okay, this is life. This is what you get when you have a live show. You have a naughty. Okay. So yeah, there are so many cool new technologies coming out that can help your vet find ways to diagnose things and peel back some layers. So there's just a lot more resources available than there were even 5 years ago in terms of testing and availability and things like that. And it doesn't even matter where you are in the world. They can work with you a lot of times, just because a lot of it is mailing in a sample of some kind, and then they send out all the results to you by email. So don't let it stop you from just digging around a little bit more. There are answers out there, and you just have to keep digging until you find them. So hello to Lori in Naples, Florida. And Lori says conventional care is only suppressive and palliative, not healing. That is exactly correct. Yeah, I wish more doctors, even human doctors, would really try to shift their perspective on how they address healing. Because again, find the root cause, address the root cause, all the symptoms stop. How about that? That sounds like a real way to heal. Jessica says, I feed my cats Viva Raw, Darwin's Raw Green Juju, and zero chemicals at home. Okay, that's great. Now start to go dig through their medical records and figure out what else they've been exposed to throughout their life. It could have been something they were exposed to as a kitten. And here's something really interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Over on, I saw it on a Twitter feed I think it was last week. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Sorry, let me say that again. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is the health. I can't remember what his new role is. Okay, so he's helping America be healthy again, right? So one of the interviews that he gave, and it was probably not a recent interview, but it was a clip of an interview, and he was talking about the presence of heavy metals in our bodies, and how aluminum specifically, for example, if you are given a vaccine when you were a child that had aluminum in it, thank you, Health and Human Services Secretary, thank you. I thought it was health and services, and I didn't know what else. Okay, I digress. So if you were given a vaccine as a child that had aluminum in it, you can become sensitive to anything in that ambient environment. For example, if If it was springtime and the trees were blooming in your area, you can develop allergies to trees. If it was major ragweed season and summertime and grasses were just prevalent, which happens in the summertime a lot, and you were given some type of vaccine with aluminum in it, it can make you sensitive and have allergies to grasses and ragweed for life. It is such a immune system destroyer, which is frightening when you think about that. So it works the same in pet tissue, okay, in the pets' bodies. If we're vaccinating our pets and it has aluminum, and most of these vaccines that they get do have aluminum, not as much mercury or thimerosal as in the past, but a lot of them have aluminum as an adjuvant. So if you think about that, you bring home your cat who just got a vaccine, and it's, the heat of the summer, and there's grasses, and if you check your allergy report and grasses are really high and ragweed is really high, your cat may have a chronic sensitivity or allergy to grasses and ragweed. So I just thought that connection was amazing, and I think I shared it on my Facebook page, but I can't remember. I can try to go find it, but it's just more information is coming out of how detrimental just toxins are to our systems, and it's going to affect our pets and our cats just the same. So we have to just be more mindful of all potential toxins that can get into our bodies and weaken our immune system and weaken other systems, our digestive system. You guys have heard me say this a million times. The immune system and the digestive system share the same real estate in the body. It's called the gut. And over 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So if our gut is unhealthy, if we have leaky gut, if we have a bunch of toxins in our system, if we're starting to have all these food allergies and sensitivities and things like that, we have a gut problem. Yes, we have an immune problem, but we have got to heal that area of the body, and it works just the same way in cats. So that is my rant for today. So yeah, transparency in your cat's pet food. How transparent are those companies that you support by buying their products? And just thinking about the whole aluminum component and the connection to ambient allergens in the environment at the time that you get those vaccines. So something to think about. Okay, so what questions do you guys have? I'm sure you have something. Let me just scroll back through. Yeah, there's some questions over here on Instagram. Hang on, guys. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Bonnie Bell says, Fetching Foods is completely transparent about their ingredients. Yes, they are. Yeah, you just have to ask. I don't know if they post, well, they might, a complete nutritional analysis. It's not the same as a guaranteed analysis. It documents like over 36 vitamins, minerals, and things like that our cats need in their diet, and how much of that is in the food that they're eating. So look for the full, complete nutritional analysis for whatever your pet is eating. So Bonnie says, I'm wondering if you have any energy ideas, any support ideas for him for the biopsy thing. Well, one of my favorite things is color. So color therapy, support his solar plexus chakra. That is our power center. And cats, when they don't feel they're in control or they've lost their personal power, it can affect their tummy. So it can make them maybe a little nauseous. They resist food. It's like maybe having butterflies in your tummy, if that makes sense. So support with yellow. You can support with the color green. It's very grounding. If he's super, super afraid, maybe red for his root chakra support. And like things like flower essences are so gentle. So if you have some rescue remedy, you may want to put that in his food. Guys, flower essences are really intended to give orally, but you can also use them topically. So applying them put a few drops in your hand, gently rub them around, and just pet your cat, especially around the face where all the pheromones are. It can really help calm them, and you can use that every 15 minutes, like in Rescue Remedy, until they calm down. So orally, put it in their food if you have to. Just make sure they're getting all 4 drops twice a day, and then petting them a couple times a day, depending on the condition, the situation with your cat, and what they're struggling with. So those are easy. Flower essences, color. Um, if he gets nauseous, you could even try Nux vomica or Ipecacuanha 30C. Those are remedies. Ipecac is really good for nausea related things. So maybe that, depending on what's going on, of course. So let's see if I missed anything else over here. Okay. A question over here on YouTube. Shayna says, best immune supplements for a 7-month-old Sphinx who's positive for Leaky virus. Okay, well, first of all, make sure he's eating a species of appropriate diet, or she. Fresh food, the fresher the better. Honestly, that's really the best thing you can do. And then maybe 7 months old, maybe some colostrum for a little while, for a couple months. Colostrum. I have a really amazing product in my shop called Motherboard by Vengeance, and it is so cool. This product, basically, okay, think of a motherboard, which is the computer. That's like the program. This product is what writes the program for the immune system. I call it like this small intestines reset. So our immune system reset. So Motherboard would probably be something you could look into. And it is made from the stuff that powers colostrum. So it's like a transfer factor. So that is really, really great for kittens, for cats who are that young and struggle with immune issues. They may just not have gotten enough beneficial bacteria from their mom, especially if he's got Leaky virus. So, there's a weakened thing there already. So look into the Motherboard, and obviously the fresh food diet. Mushrooms probably would be another really great option. Omega-3s. Make sure they're getting really good quality omega-3 oils. And that can even be sardines if you want to do food instead of a supplement. Let's see, what else? Medicinal mushrooms are just so good for everything. And if you can find a combination product, those are awesome. Thorn Vet actually has a mushroom medley product. Animal Essentials has some singles, but they also have a combo. And then MycoCat makes blends for cats that are mushroom based. So there's a lot of really good things that you could look at. She says, I've incorporated raw food with great quality brands, colostrum. Oh, cool. Lactoferrin, colloidal silver. I'm going to come back to that. Probiotics by Adored Beast. Lysine, trying everything. I haven't really found lysine to be super, super effective, to be quite honest with you, and when viral issues are a concern. Colloidal silver is antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, but it is silver, which is heavy metal. So I am not a proponent of giving a product like colloidal silver internally on an ongoing basis unless you are addressing something for a very short term, like an infection. And even then, there are better products out there than that, because of an experience that I had with my cat years ago, who had chronic upper respiratory problems before I knew how to help him better. He developed renal lymphoma because of nasal polyps in his nose. And I was treating him with colloidal silver all the time because he was like constantly getting these upper respiratory infections. So when he was diagnosed with cancer, they did a hair tissue mineral analysis test on him, and his silver levels were off the chart. So what that told me was I was giving way too much for too long, and the silver stayed in his body and actually weakened his immune system. It pushed the condition deeper. And we don't want to do that. So I don't recommend doing the colloidal silver. Um, there are you have so many good ways already here that you're using. So take that off the list. And if he has some kind of infection, use Oxycat by Feline Essential. There's no metal in it, and it's also all natural, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. So that is my preferred thing for oral use, instead of colloidal silver. If you want to do topical colloidal silver for cuts and wounds and things like that, no problem. But Oxycat would work for those just as well. So that's just from my experience. Let's see. I think let me make sure I answered all of that. So yeah, I have a whole category of mushrooms in my shop under supplements. You can just drop down and look at mushrooms. Whole bunch of different options there if you want to explore. Lori says, were you using more than 10 ppm? No, I was using 10 ppm Sovereign Silver. That is what I was using. So yeah, shocker. So anyway, it was a hard lesson for me to learn. I'll tell you what. But I am not a super fan of. I'm just very, very cautious, as you can imagine. You don't want to end up giving your cat the propensity to develop cancer. Okay. Not when there's immune system issues going on. So Karen says, I am transitioning a cat to raw, but she keeps throwing it up. So I'm starting slowly. I'm only giving her about ½ ounce of raw with her canned. How long should I stay at half before I move on to more raw? I'll bet you I know why she's throwing it up. And this goes into the woo-woo world, but you guys know this is the world I live in. The stomach holds and emits the emotion of disgust. So when cats are exposed to something new, like raw food that they haven't had before, their stomach can actually have an emotional response of disgust. And that is what I see all the time in the work that I do. So it's probably just an emotional response. Now, energy work can clear that. I call it a block. And it stops that disgust response, and the cat can transition to eating the raw food and new proteins and going from wet food to raw, or from dry to wet, or whatever you guys are dealing with. But that's probably why. So if you want to speed up the thing, do a session with me. We can help work through all of that. Now, as far as the ½ ounce, it's really up to your cat. So you can keep trying. As long as they are receptive and they're able to eat it without having that disgust response, then you can keep incrementally, adding a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. But like I said, it takes a lot longer. So there is no set rule. It's really go at the pace of your cat. So some cats, it takes 6 months to a year, and other cats, it takes 5 days, and other cats, it takes 3 weeks. So it's really, it's kind of a crapshoot to kind of figure out, how long it's going to take. So there's no real solid answer with that. But yeah, that's my tip for making it go quicker, is utilize energy work whenever you can. Okay, so Jessica says she is using smalls for cats. Awesome. Lori says Vengeance is great. I agree. Let me see if I can pull this down. And let's see here. Green Juju is such a great brand, guys. I love that brand as well. Very transparent, that company. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yes. Shayna says, oh my gosh, I definitely don't want to hurt my babies. I appreciate your advice. Thank you. I did see the Oxycat on the website. I've also used Catalyst. Yeah, Catalyst is a wonderful product. And that's also, Karen, you can also consider trying adding digestive enzymes to the mixture. If your cat has trouble breaking down the raw elements just because it's not processed, and if the cat's gut is not really ready for a fresher diet with living enzymes, you may just need to add some digestive enzymes, and Catalyst is wonderful. It also has antioxidants in it, an antioxidant in it. So yeah, try that. Let's see. Karen says she is on Ion Gut Support. Awesome. And GI Relief Supplement. Awesome. Yeah, Ion Gut is wonderful for any cat or pet that struggles with any kind of gut issues, leaky gut especially. Ion Gut seals those tight junctions in the intestinal lining, and things like toxins and processed foods and vaccines and heavy metals and chemicals start to weaken those tight junctions, and they start to open and things start to cross into the bloodstream that should not be there. That's why cats get allergies, and that's why they get GI issues and all these things. You know what? Add the catalyst, Karen. You have got nothing to lose. I even use it. I'm waiting on another order, but I even use it with my kitties, especially my senior. Um, so it is such a great, great product. You can't go wrong by just incorporating catalyst into your pet's food. It is digestive enzymes, and you know these days we can all use digestive enzymes. In fact, I take digestive enzymes for every meal that I eat because for some reason my genetics were just, we have a tendency to need that support. And so that's what I do. I just take digestive enzymes and it just makes things a lot better. Okay, let me go back over here to Instagram. You guys have any other questions? Oh, you're very, very welcome, Bonnie. Send me an update on your boy after his procedure too. Okay, we're almost at the half-hour mark. Does anybody else have any questions? Had some great ones tonight. Let me see if I missed anybody over here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I think we're good there. Everybody on Instagram, are you guys happy? Let's see. Anything else? It's going to be a short show. But hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. All right, let's do a quick poll real quick. How many of you guys like daylight savings time and having to change twice a year? And then how many just give me a thumbs up, or say yes, you like daylight savings time, or no, you do not like having to do time changes. I personally hate time changes. I wish they would just leave it the same all year long. It messes everything up. Just one way or another, just leave it, you know? Even our cats, I think it affects our cats too. Just the whole losing an hour, the daylight, it just throws the whole circadian rhythm off somehow. So anyway, Shayna says, I like the extra hour of sleep. I like the extra hour of sleep, but I don't like missing it in the springtime. Okay. I don't like that. Yeah, she says, I like the extra, I love daylight savings time. Here's the thing. As the seasons change, the sun changes in the sky. So we do get longer days anyway during those times of the year versus winter and the winter time. There are shorter days, but the sun is further away from us. So it's all about the elliptical orbit of the sun and how that all, pans out. So yeah, we naturally get more daylight during the summer and this time of year. So yeah, I wish they just leave it alone. Anywho, okay, so let's see. Here's another question. She goes, which brands of human digestive enzymes do you choose? So I am currently using, and I've been using these for years. It's called Allegheny Nutrition, and I get them from the naturopath clinic that I use in Houston, and they ship to me here in Georgetown, but they ship anywhere. So yeah, it's a green and white bottle, and it says digestive enzymes. Allegheny, like Allegheny, New York. Allegheny Nutrition is the brand. Okay, so let's take that one off. Let's make sure got anybody else? Anybody over here on Instagram have any more questions before we call it a night? This has been fun. I can't believe it's gone so fast. Laura Christine says, my kitties are doing great on the raw diet. That's awesome. I love hearing that news. That's awesome. I wish I had learned about raw feeding when I was, like 20 years ago when it wasn't cool back then. I would have switched them a long time ago if what I knew now I knew then. Makes such a huge difference. Here's another interesting thing, you guys. Okay, so I've been doing a weekly podcast with Michael over at Healthy. It's called The Pet's Journey on YouTube. It's on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. We go for an hour and a half, and we usually have a topic, but we are always taking questions from the viewers as well. So if you want to hop on a show with us sometime, it's 8 o'clock Central over on YouTube on The Pet's Journey. And Michael is one of the co-owners of Healthy Paws Herbal Labs, and we've had some really great discussions. So we talk about all different kinds of topics. So hop on over there and check out some of the recordings. Actually, I have them recorded on our YouTube platform as well. It's under the Pet's Journey podcast. So look for that. Okay, Tony says, is it normal for cats' ears and paws to feel ice cold even in warmer weather at times? I would say no. I would say that would perhaps be diet related. So maybe his body is too cool based on the proteins that he's eating, or lack of circulation. So, because it shouldn't feel cold. Definitely not in warmer weather for sure. So look at that and see if that could make a difference. Just awareness. Like, for example, in the wintertime, if you feed a warming protein like venison or lamb or chicken, that can help. They're just warming to the body so that it helps create more heat to the body. In the summertime, if your cat tends to be too hot, or just to help cool the body down, you can feed things like turkey and rabbit and duck, which are more cooling proteins. And then things like whitefish and bison and beef and pork and boar, those are more neutral proteins that kind of go either way. So look at some of the proteins that you're feeding, Tony, and see where you can possibly make some tweaks into the diet and see if that makes a change, or definitely look at the potential of circulation. And I don't know, just got the intuitive hit of maybe acupuncture session can maybe help identify where some blocks are. He might have some energy blocks. So if you have an acupuncturist, a veterinary acupuncturist that's near you, you could look at that too. Okay, so Carolina says, can you outline pointers for healing a senior kitty leaky gut? Well, it really depends. It can be a little bit more in depth than most people realize. Like, what I'm learning now, I'm doing a whole certification course on something called holistic wellness approach, and it balances energy in the body. We look at vitamins and minerals and how well those are balanced in the body. Are you getting enough in the diet? We look at mitochondria, how well they're functioning energetically. We look at cell membranes. Are they intact? Do they need support? We look at digestion, and how well all the digestive organs are functioning on us. I score them. So if there's, those organs and glands might need support to balance them energetically. We also look at the nervous system and the endocrine system to see if those areas need support energetically, and what types of products or foods would help balance that. In a lot of cases, it's magnesium, it's flower essences, it's something to calm the nervous system down. We look at intestinal resonance, so how balanced the intestines, both the small and the large intestines are, and do they need support? So, and then we look at toxin binding, because you can only do so much if the gut is not healthy enough to for detoxification. We have to work on those other elements first and get those things in balance, or at least to a point where the body can support detoxification. Um, Leaky gut, there's going to be a need for detoxification. Now, in many cases, you can use things like binders. Um, Believe it or not, Venzio is coming out like on top probably 80% of the time in the work that I've been doing so far. Venzio is by Vengeance. It is a zeolite. It's a micronized zeolite product. It's very, very small, very easily absorbed, but it helps bind the toxins in the gut. Leaky gut, you want to include something like the ion gut support for pets because that seals the tight junctions. And if you got loose junctions, you got leaky gut. So we have to look at how to seal the gut and then how to heal the gut, and just make sure from the cellular level everything is balanced and it can function the way it needs to function. Yeah, it is a fascinating way to look at things, Lori Christine, because you have to do things in layers. And what's cool about this approach is it uses diet, lifestyle, and supplementation. Some of that could be energetic supplementation, like flower essences, homeopathy, things like that, and balancing all those different areas. And so, like, I'm sure a lot of you probably have struggled with this. Like you have this cabinet full of supplements and you're giving like 10 different supplements because you think it's helping or benefiting. So when you do a session with holistic wellness approach, first of all, I figure out what the body needs to balance energetically. And then we go through and say, well, how many of these things that you're using can we use? How many of those are necessary right now? And then instead of taking maybe a total of 10 supplements, maybe you need 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? So it helps streamline the process, and you're only going to give what you actually need. And then we can test other additional things if they would add significant benefit or not. And if it's a no, then set it aside. Don't overload the body. Because remember, even though supplements can be helpful, your liver or the cat's liver still has to process all of that. The kidneys have to process and filter all of that. So we don't want to overload those systems to the point where they cannot do an effective job. So that's why I love this new process that I'm about to finish the certification in. So yeah, you'll be hearing a lot more about that probably next week. So Carolina, I know that was a very long answer to your question, but ion gut support, it's ion gut support for pets. And then again, let's figure out exactly what the needs are before I just throw a bunch of stuff at you, because maybe they're not needed, maybe they are needed. Detox, like binders, the Venzio for sure to help bind toxins. Let's see. And there's a lot of diet is obviously going to be a big part of healing the gut. So we just have to look at what the stressors are to begin with and make sure you're cleaning house, taking those things out of the environment, out of the food, etc., so that we don't continue adding to the toxic burden in the body. But yeah, there's a systematic way to do it, and it needs to be customized, if that makes sense. It can't be a one size fits all, because every body is unique and all the needs are a little different. So that's why I love this particular certification I'm doing, because it is going to be very targeted to that individual. And I'm going to be working on people as well as pets. So it opens up more ways for me to support the cat parents as well. Okay. Let me see. There was another one. So Lori Christine says, I think that a leaky gut causes more health issues than most people realize. Oh, 100%. And I mean, if you think about it, I don't even think I heard the term leaky gut 10 years ago. So it's becoming more mainstream, and I think it's in more of our consciousness, our awareness, and we're learning more about it. So yeah, it's it's fascinating when you understand how everything works so synergistically in the body. It's, how do I say this nicely? The traditional medical community, whether that's for people or for pets, tends to look at things in isolation. You know what I'm saying? So like everything's an island. Let's just focus on this one little thing. When that is connected to everything else and its energy is affecting everything else. So we can't look at things myopically. We have to look at it holistically if you want to get true healing, because it all affects each other. Everything in the body works as a system. It's not an island. So that's just important to remember. So here's another one. She says, currently Oreo Marie is on Solutions Rough Work. Awesome. That's a great brand. Great brand. It's a newer company, but they're doing really amazing things as far as I have heard. I have not tried them yet. Okay. Anything else? You guys over here? Hi there, Delph Blue in Vancouver. Okay. I just spilled my water. All right. I think we're going to wrap up so I can go take care of my babies. They are ready to go outside and play. And so, yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this and hopefully learned a tip or two or something to kind of go home and think about. If you have an interest in learning more about the work that I do, go to the website, perfectlyholistic.com, and check out services. And I have amazing providers, you guys, not just me, but if you want Reiki healing, if you want animal communication, Nina does Akashic record readings. Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. Lots of good resources for you guys and your kitties. And we work on dogs too. So, not to discriminate there. So anyway, y'all have a great rest of your evening and the rest of your week. And we will be back regular first Thursday of the month in April for more Q&A. But if you need me before then, you can email me at pam@perfectlyholistic or just shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook or even YouTube. And we will see you guys again soon. So, all right. Enjoy your evening. Kiss your babies for me. And we'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.